Welcome back everyone to a brand new edition of the best new Korean builds, this time for patch 13.3. We'll be covering 10 unique builds that are extremely strong right now, but are still relatively unknown by the majority of players. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you want to truly get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description below. There are a plethora of amazing Jax builds right now, but one of the most underrated of them all revolves around an Essence Reaver rush. In the preseason, Essence Reaver was actually a semi-popular rush item on Jax, being purchased in 5% of games. In 13.3, less players are building Essence, but it's performing even better due to its buffs from 13.1b. The core is all-out offensive as you transition into a Ravenous Hydra second. The build is all about maximizing split push power and 1v1 dueling potential, so Hullbreaker is slotted in third. If you're someone who loves living in the side lane, creating constant pressure, and being able to smack down towers super fast, then this build will do the trick. For the rune page, you'll want to grab Lethal Tempo. With Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand, optimal secondaries are Bone Plating and Unflinching. The 13.3 changes to Radiant Virtue see its max health scaling being increased, which is absolutely amazing for Ornn. Ever since Jax was nerfed, Radiant has been performing way better as Ornn's mythic, yet very few players are actually running the item. Ornn's upgraded items provide him with lots of bonus health, giving the champ amazing synergy with the Radiant passive. With the max health you receive from Radiant being increased from 10 to 15%, it gives so much value to Stoneplate as a core purchase. If you aren't aware, the shield from Stoneplate scales off of your health, and to give you guys a clear picture of how impactful this is, take a look at the background gameplay. Without Radiant passive being procced, Stoneplate will shield you for 1,189 health. When you proc the Radiant passive by using your ultimate, that Stoneplate shield now becomes 1,609 health. Radiant into Sunfire and Stoneplate is going to be absolutely nuts on Ornn in 13.3, so if you want to play an unkillable raid boss with immense teamfight power, look no further. Rune page for Ornn is Grasp, with Demolish, Second Wind, and Overgrowth. Optimal secondaries include Free Boots and Biscuits. Belveth, being a champion who was hit by the recent Blade of the Ruined King nerfs, is seeing great success with a more durable build. Instead of going Blade second item, Black Cleaver is a great alternative option now. Cleaver was just buffed in 13.1b, and it's being played quite a bit in Korean high elo on Belveth. The combo of Kraken Slayer into Black Cleaver does a really good job at countering champions that like to stack a ton of armor. The 30 ability haste you get from Cleaver drastically improves Belveth's ability to skirmish and stay more durable in the mid game. Belveth's E is on a pretty long cooldown, but when it's available, you can be so much more aggressive knowing you have the damage reduction to play off. Belveth's Q charges allow her to stack the Black Cleaver armor shred really fast as well, so everything comes together really nice. For the complete core build, it's a Kraken Rush into Black Cleaver second and Wit's End or Death's Dance third. Run Conqueror as the keystone with Triumph, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. Sudden Impact and Treasure Hunter are great for secondaries. It's not just Belveth who's seen newfound success with the buffed Black Cleaver, as Hecarim is another very underrated champ with the item. Death's Dance being nerfed combined with the Cleaver buffs have turned Black Cleaver into a much more valuable pickup. If you're looking for a more durable Hecarim build and don't want to play the very squishy Shojin with Mana Immune build, then this one is a great alternative. The core consists of a Divine Sunderer Rush into Black Cleaver second and Frozen Art third. The Divine and Cleaver core provides you with lots of armor penetration, so when playing into comps that have tankier champions, this build is definitely the way to go. Into squishier comps that you can more reliably one-shot, Shojin with Mana Immune can work really well. For the rune page, it's Phase Rush with Nimbus Cloak, Celerity, and Water Walking, Roll with Eyeball Collection, and Ingenious Hunter for secondaries. This next pick is an extra spicy one as it's not only Malphite mid, but it's Malphite mid with a Rod of Ages Rush. AP Malphite is such a sleeper champ, especially into many melee assassins like Katarina, Kiana, Zed, and Talon. The one downside to playing AP Malphite though is that he's pretty much just an ult bot who looks to one-shot a target and then dies due to how squishy he is. That is, until now, as the Rod of Ages build offers way more durability, and you build Archangel's second item, which will provide you with a shield. Running out of mana too quickly has always been another issue for Malphite, but by rushing Rod and picking up an early tier, you can have way more potential to spam Q poke in lane. For the complete core build, it's a Rod of Ages Rush into Archangel's second and Zanya's third. Keystone rune is Comet with Mana Flow, Transcendence, and Scorch. Optimal secondaries include Bone Plating and Overgrowth. One champion being heavily slept on with an Essence Reaver Rush is Corki. The item used to be a very popular popular purchase on the champion, eventually fell out of meta, but is now back as a great pickup. At the time of making this video, Essence Reaver is winning about 2% more than any other first purchase. Ravenous Hydra with Ludens is by far the most popular Corki setup right now, but it's performing so much weaker compared to this ER build. The core you'll want to run consists of Essence Reaver into Manamune 2nd and Shield Bow 3rd. A lot more early game power coming out of this core by rushing the Essence Reaver. Main weakness to Corki is that he takes a while to come online, but by rushing ER instead of Manamune, you can be a little more impactful off that one item spike. First Strike is the best Keystone rune with Magical Footwear, Biscuits, and Cosmic Insight. Run Second Wind and Overgrowth for secondaries. A new Jhin build has burst onto the scene over the past patch and is being played by many highly touted pros in solo queue. It's not actually a crit build either, as it's lethality Jhin being prioritized a lot more. In the past, we had seen a little bit of Jhin with an Eclipse Rush, but this build revolves around a Ghostblade Rush. Eclipse will still be your second item, and then Manamune rounds out the core. By passing up on Gale Force, you're losing out on a decent amount of mobility, so the Ghostblade active helps to make up for that. A standard crit build offers no ability haste at all, while this lethality core provides 45. While a crit core will out DPS with just auto attacks, the lethality build will provide you with more utility and pick power. Our damage, especially once you have Mirror Mana completed, will be much higher with the lethality build. In games where the enemy team has more squishy, longer range champions, this is where the lethality build can fit in best. As for the rune page, majority of pros are picking up Fleet Footwork and favoring it over Dark Harvest. This next build is one of the most overlooked ADC builds of the patch, and it consists of Navori Quick Blades on Tristana. Take a look at the background gameplay. Tristana Q has a 14-second cooldown, and the uptime is 7 seconds. This means you'll have to wait 7 seconds for Q to come back up after it runs out. With Quick Blades, that's not the case though. Tristana can literally have permanent uptime on Q due to the Quick Blades passive. This is amazing because it gives Tristana the luxury of skipping a more attack speed focused item like Phantom Dancer, and she can instead build Bloodthirster 3rd. The core of Kraken into Quick Blades and Bloodthirster is actually the highest win rate 3-item core for Trist right now. Quick Blades is even outperforming Infinity Edge as a second purchase. The raw skirmish power that Quick Blades provides makes it a great pickup for solo queue and offers Trist a very powerful 2-item spike. Rune page for Tristana is Hail of Blades with Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, and Treasure Hunter. Best secondaries are Triumph and Bloodline. AP ratios have been buffed on all 3 of Alistar's basic abilities, which makes this more offensive build very powerful. Shurelius is the rush item, as the active works insanely well with how Alistar wants to play, finding hard engages on enemies out of position. Second item is Zhonya's, which fits Alistar's playstyle perfectly. Alistar is already one of the best supports at pulling off dive plays due to the tankiness from his ultimate, but with Zhonya's, it becomes even more foolproof. Not only will you have more damage, which will allow you to execute the dive much easier, but you'll be even more annoying to take down thanks to the Zhonya's stasis. Since you're going to be a little more squishy with this build, running Phase Rush as the keystone is a great idea. Phase is actually Alistar's highest win rate keystone, it's just not prioritized as much in Glacial. With Shurelia's active, you are able to find your catch play very easily, and then after you've used your combo, the movement speed from Phase Rush lets you continue chasing or peel away from danger. This Blitzcrank build continues to slowly rise in play rate every single patch, and it consists of an Everfrost Rush. In the western regions, only about 4% of Blitz players run Everfrost, but in Korean solo queue, that number is doubled at 8%. Blitz players that complete Everfrost are winning 56% of the time compared to Shurelia's users at 54% of the time. The whole idea behind the Everfrost build is to provide you with a near guaranteed kill off every single hook you land. The root combined with the added damage helps you capitalize on catch plays much easier, and you are less reliant on your teammates to follow up. How many times do you hit a blitz hook but the enemy flashes away with a sliver of health? This build helps to alleviate that. The 3-item core consists of Everfrost into Zeke 2nd and Wardstone 3rd. Glacial is the keystone rune with Hex Flash, Biscuits, and Cosmic Insight. Bone Plating and Unflinching are the way to go for secondaries. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about SkillCapped. So, we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into ELO Hell 714 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you are serious about improving. So that's going to wrap it all up for the new Korean builds of 13.3. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.